Well, to talk a bit more about that now, I'm joined on the set by Douglas Herbert. Doug, it's going to be a very tense debate there in the Senate today, not least because of the huge influence of the Catholic Church in Argentina.
Giant. Not just Argentina, across the region. You know, legalizing abortion has been a very heavy lift in many countries in this region because of, you have entrenched patriarchal cultures. You have, like you said, very powerful Catholic Church where church and state are anything but separate and it weighs in. And you have a culture in which women who do seek abortions, often poor women under illegal clandestine circumstances, they're considered baby killers, often subject to very, very heavy fines and prison sentences, time in jail. Argentina, this is the 7th time a bill has been proposed to legalize abortion. Under the current law in Argentina, what you have is a situation where it's only permitted in cases where the woman has either been raped, it's been amended several times over the years, but raped, or where her life is deemed to be in danger if she were to carry that baby to term. Those are the only conditions. Otherwise, maybe you could get an exemption, maybe not. The National Assembly, the lower house of parliament in June, very narrowly passed. I mean, it can't be more narrow, 129 votes to 125. And it is seen as generally less conservative, younger than the Senate, which now is voting on the bill. And like I said, this is the first time bills like this have been proposed in Argentina in the past. First time it's being put for open debate before Parliament. Senate is more conservative, and sort of the forecasts in the Argentine media are they're looking for possible rejection. That doesn't mean the movement's going to give up, and I'm not calling the outcome. It could still pass, but they're looking for, they're predicting that it's more likely to go down in the Senate, even though it was passed narrowly in the National Assembly. The Catholic Church, like you said, has been very active on one side of this issue, namely the anti-abortion side. For the women leading this debate, it's not about whether or not abortion should be legal so much as framing it as women who need, for whatever reason, to seek an abortion, should they have to do so under clandestine, illegal circumstances, or should they have the protection of the state and be able to do so safely? 41 million people in Argentina, just to give you some stats, 500,000 estimated illegal abortions a year. The health ministry a few years back estimated in Argentina about 100 to 300 deaths of women who perhaps would have lived if they had not had to seek illegal abortions. The Catholic Church, in sermons on Sundays, some pastors have been basically naming senators, putting pressure on them, presumably to vote down this legislation. Anything but separation of church and state, a very powerful influence of the church trying to weigh in and tip the scales in this debate.
Now, this vote, of course, being very carefully watched across the region, much of which is very Catholic, as you said.
Yeah.
Could this vote have a ripple effect around the region either way?
That is the hope of a lot of the movements of women across the region that are looking very closely at Argentina. We saw last year Chile passed a law which was not really fully legalizing it, but only legalizing abortion under certain circumstances. In Argentina, like I said, it will be in the first 14 weeks of pregnancy under very extenuating circumstances. There are only 3 countries right now in that region, and it is Cuba, Guyana, and Uruguay that actually allow abortion, where it is legal, plus the Federal District of Mexico, Mexico City, the capital of Mexico. There are 6 countries that totally forbid, under any circumstance, abortion. That is, a woman having the right to do what she wants, decide what she wants to do with the fetus she's carrying, with the baby she's carrying. That is Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Suriname. You cannot get a legal abortion in any circumstances there, even if you were raped, even if your life is in danger, whatever the circumstance. So maybe there's hopes that in some parts of this region, this vote, no matter what the outcome, the fact they're having a very open debate, it's all out there right now, a full-throated debate, it will perhaps influence the debate going forward. In El Salvador, for example, where it is totally outlawed right now, women are considered complicit in an aggravated homicide often if they, for whatever reason, seek an abortion, put an end to that, to the fetus's life. And in that case, that is a debate which has been raging. There have been movements there trying to get a bill going, trying to get it, like in Argentina, before the parliament into an open debate. A lot of the region facing a big uphill battle, but Argentina is right now setting an example which a lot of countries perhaps will be hoping to follow, or at least elements of the population and women in those countries.
Doug, thank you for that. France 24's international affairs commentator Douglas Herbert.